Good evening or good morning, Jimmy. For those that's going to get there on the Thursday morning and listen to the SC Spectrum episode number, what are we, 3 now?
Yeah, we're getting
Episode
there
3.
now.
Yeah, we're getting old. We're getting old in this game. Might be time to retire.
Maybe, but not yet.
No, maybe, but not yet. We've got a few thousand more to do. Welcome, everybody, to the SC Spectrum's episode number 3. We're very excited. It's round 4, SuperCoach chat. This is my favourite night. But I've got something even more exciting to tell everybody, and that is that we have a new sponsor on board. Jimmy, how excited are you about this announcement?
Oh, I'm stoked, mate. Every little bit counts, and it's just a great opportunity moving forward, isn't it?
Yeah, every little bit counts. It's not just a little amount, though. This is pretty awesome. So that sponsor, let's announce it, mate. It's the company is called Understanding Supports. We are incredibly excited to have them on board. It's a long-term relationship. It's going to be something that we're certainly going to navigate and talk throughout the years that we do this for and grow with them. The one thing that I really like about this is something that's really passionate that I have on my own side, and how I sort of treat myself and what I hold really important to myself within my own job as a teacher. Jimmy, let's hear from you. Understanding Supports. You want to just give us a little spiel who it is, what they do, and how can we contact them and why?
Yeah, so Understanding Supports are a local company on the Sunshine Coast. They do amazing things for the community, for all people needing mental health recovery and just general support. They're amazing at what they do, and some of the best people on the coast you'll ever meet. So I definitely recommend getting in touch with them if you need that little bit of help. You can go to www.understandingsupports.com.au and you'll find all the info there if you ever need their help.
Mate, how awesome is that?
That's great.
It's so cool. Like, we're at the 3rd episode and we can announce 2 sponsors. It's just unbelievably overwhelming how awesome this has been, how fun it has been. I think the thing is that we're just having so much fun with it, aren't we? And I think the sponsors and that are picking up on that, and people are contacting us wanting to see and give us a bit of a feel. And I just think it's awesome. All the information I'll make sure is in the bio for the post. So, I can't recommend it enough, guys. Give it a call. Get on their website, have a look. And if you're up in the sunny coast or in north side of Brisbane, get in touch. Jimmy, let's talk footy. Let's actually talk SuperCoach. Let's talk round 3. Let's talk about the shit show that was for the two of us.
Mate, it wasn't good, was it, at all?
I think I just summed it up before with the word shit show.
Yeah, look, for me, I scored a 1-1-3-2, which at the start of going into Sunday, I was looking at a 12.50 plus, and then I had both my cheapy CT dubs just go poo-poo, so that really, really cost me, and I've dropped even further now. I'm down to 51,000, so the hunt begins, as I'm now calling it this week. I'm chasing spots left, right, and centre.
We're the hunters, not hunted anymore, hey?
Yeah.
So, what trades did you end up making? What captains did you go with? What went wrong?
Well, I brought in Chan for Tino, so that was a massive tick straight away. Huge uptick there. I went Uelu to Grant as well. Another great trade. Grant didn't do well. That happens. But for the season, it's going to be a better trade, so I'm happy with that. And then I went Kinney to Sewer, which some people held. They're probably going to trade him this week to Turbo. I went to Sewer last week for the cash rise, so I'm pretty happy. VC was Kiraz in the end, which not good at all. And I went the Captain Cleary only to be let down after they flogged the Roosters and he got 68 or something. Not good. Not good.
Oh, mate. Well, at least you can chuck the crown on between the two of us, but you can't chuck the crown on between our little team that we've got, because our our gorgeous Sam is absolutely giving us a pasting. And refuses to, because she's a bit soft and she refuses to get into the podcast and stuff, and I can't even get her to do reels, mate. So hopefully the community gets into her, gets stuck into her, and realizes just how awesome this person is, because she is a freaking superstar. But she's given us a pasting, because I got 1,080, mate. I got 1,080. I dropped another 12,988 spots, and I'm now a cherry ripe 73,183. Now, it's not about finishing with the lowest score, it's lowest rank. It's about finishing with the highest rank. So I'm kicking everyone's ass at the moment with a 73,183. Let's be honest. Let's turn a negative into a positive, Jimmy.
I just noticed your round rank was actually 100,000 plus too.
Disgrace. Look. You've seen my team.
It's unbelievable.
There's a dozen people that I talk to outside that ask for advice and things, that are sitting there doing way better than I am, and look at my team and just think, yeah, you'll come good. You'll kick my ass soon. And I'm just looking at it, just thinking, I can't. It's hard to make trades because I can't see problems. You know what I mean? My team is good, and I've had a couple of other little content creators and stuff like that have a look at it, and they're like, "Nah, your team's good. It's just they're not firing. They're really not." Last week I brought in Karaz, and put the VC on that for the Juju. Got nothing out of that. I traded Sam Walker to Cleary. Look, he scored more than Sam Walker, but and I put the captain on Cleary. He got his 69, and my third trade, can't remember who it was. It was so shit. You can't even remember what I did with that third trade.
Ponga to Sewer.
Oh, that's right, Ponga to Sewer, and Sewer got me a 79. I'm not happy. I'm not disappointed with that. But yeah, I literally just, I played Leo instead of Macassini. There was 30 points. I didn't play Couchman for the 60 that he got, and missed out on an extra 30 with that because I played Mooney, which I was always going to do.
Yeah.
I had the reserve on Marnie, and I was tossing up between Marnie and Pezzett, and that cost me 16 more points and stuff like that. It's just all those little things that are just absolutely smoking my team, and the Travis boys suck. I think I'm going down draft way. I'm killing it in all my draft leagues.
What about your head-to-head leagues? Are you doing all right in those?
I haven't even looked at them.
Fair enough.
Overall, the head-to-heads will just manage themselves as I go through. Yes. All right. Well, let's get off that shit show because it's only up. We're now the hunters, not hunted. And let's move into our TLT.
Let's do it.
All right, so Manly versus the Roosters. There's a couple of noticeable SuperCoach things or performances with that. So Billy Smith returns from injury, and Kobe starts alongside Paseka for Manly. I like that for Paseka.
I love it for Paseka. I think he's actually going quietly under the radar, and we'll get to it a bit later, but I'm surprised he's not more traded in at this point. I think he could be scoring 50s and 60s in the coming weeks with Manly's draw. But Billy Smith, huge return. I think he's going to shore up that edge, and it'll probably help Sam Walker out a bit and Angus Crichton a little bit to an extent, just with that stability, knows what's going on out there.
Paseka's already 23% owned, and so far he's been brought in 1.4%. Now, the numbers that we're talking about here is because it's still only early days. It's the whole competition. But, yeah, he's 25% owned in the competition, so a quarter have him. So I would dare say, I would assume that this will grow over the next 24 hours. They play tomorrow, but I really like that for Paseka. I'm a happy starter with Paseka, and I think this is great news for him. Warriors versus the Tigers. C&K returns at fullback after his concussion. Poor Tane Tuapiki. What the hell does he need to do to just lock that spot down? Because he played free. I thought he played a very underrated game last week.
Yeah, I thought he was amazing. I thought he was quite hard done by, especially with those centres being a bit of a instability for the Warriors. I thought he might come back in there, but it's working, so you can't really go against Webster at the moment, can you?
No. Ford holds his starting spot, as you bloody expect. The dude has just been a monster in the first 3 rounds.
He's been absolutely unstoppable at times, hasn't he? It's one of those people I think I'm really going to struggle not bring in this week. I think I'm going to have to. So we'll get down that later. But yeah, he's a monster. Freak.
There is some concerns. Niakura came back last week, so did Barnett. But my God, he's been playing well. Like I just don't know. And Madden named at the 6 for the Tigers.
Yeah, he obviously named for the injured Jerome Luai. I don't think he's SC relevant at the moment, but could be a Cody Walker downgrade in a couple of weeks or something. You never know, so keep an eye on this one for sure.
Do you think Luai? What's the news on his injury?
I thought it was 4 to 6 MCL.
Mate, if it's 6 weeks and Madden locks that down, that's a quick fire. I'm going to have a look and see what he does next to Dewey this week, and if Dewey just looks... I mean, I can't believe with his high hamstring strain that he's even playing, but my God. I think there's a lot of talk about Madden and how good this guy is, so this is his opportunity, so let's see if he can get in there. Broncos versus the Dolphins. So it's now been announced, we all know, when we put this out there is under an injury cloud. We knew he was out. We didn't know how long. There's been nothing definitive has actually come through just yet, but it's everyone's saying minimum 2 weeks, maybe even 3. I'm thinking 3 weeks.
I was very surprised that they didn't name him at all and play silly buggers like that and drop him at the last minute. They just didn't pick him at all this week, which is quite concerning for me. I think it's probably more of a moderate AC joint than just a small little niggle, so definitely something to watch coming into next week, definitely.
So with that out, Willison starts at prop. How do you feel about that?
I love him. I love Willison. Any chance to get him. I think 2 to 3 weeks probably not worth a play, but definitely for your drafts and your head-to-head guys, I think you could bring him in and play him for the next couple of weeks for sure.
I know that one of our other sponsors, Rugby League Fantasy Pro, if you get around them, they're very, very high on Xavier Willison. If you want to get a membership with them, SC Spectrum 26, go and you'll get 20% off. But I know that the boys there at the Rugby League Fantasy Pro are very high on Willison, and we're just waiting for a moment like this, and they reckon he's just going to go bonkers, and he's all over their website.
Do you think if he does do well, he might push Jensen to the bench?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
okay.
I reckon. Yeah.
All right.
I just think with Haas leaving,
yeah,
and the Carrigan talk around PNG, which is not till 2028, but not till then. I just think they've got to lock this guy in.
Yeah, definitely. I'll give him a 4-year deal now.
Grant Anderson starts again. Thought he played pretty well last week for not a big score, but I thought he tried hard.
He did try hard. I thought actually he got dominated a fair bit by our Storm left edge a little bit. Well, I'm not saying he's weak or anything like that, but yeah, I just thought maybe Mariner on the wing offers a bit more punch, but we'll give him another look this week and then we can go again.
No, I wouldn't buy him. Not Supercoach relevant, but just noted. Now, one thing that this is Supercoach relevant. Concerning for Walsh owners, Reynolds returns. How you feel, Walsh owner?
I'm not a Walsh owner.
Oh,
luckily.
You're not?
No, but it's actually put me off buying him for another week or two. The way they started with Reynolds in the team, it's worrying, and then Walsh not goal kicking either. It's a real concern, and I don't know, man. There's so many good fullbacks. Yeah, Walsh is going to hemorrhage some cash if he doesn't score well this week.
Yep. Pia Kura, the anomaly, the man himself. He starts on the edge. Yeah,
he's starting. He was hot topics all pre-season as the cheapie to buy. I've never been a huge Pia Kura Supercoach guy myself, but I see the appeal at 300k. If he locks down an 80-minute spot, he's going to make money for sure.
Yep. Bulldogs versus Knights. Satili Tupanua starts at prop for Hughes. Is that relevant?
Yeah. No, not really.
Sharp name to return, but just be careful for a little late out watch. I did see an article and I saw a couple of whispers over the last 24 hours that there's a bit of a late out watch, particularly because they play the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I wouldn't be risking him.
No, I wouldn't be buying him right now. And on the second most talked about SuperCoach point this weekend is Trey Mooney got suspended. Are you holding?
Well, that's something we can talk about in trades later, Trav.
All right. I'm slowly learning what type of guy you are, James, and I think everyone else is now too. That you're a frustrating man. Panthers versus the Eels, man. Cogger returns to the bench. If you're a Yo owner, I think that's something to be worried about.
Yes, it's definitely worrying, especially after that post-match interview the other week with Yo saying Cogger's in the team just to spell him. So I held him last week because Cogger was out. I've got more fires to put out this week. Yeah, I think I just got to keep him in for another couple of weeks, and he's going to make money. So I'll leave him there for a little bit.
I don't know. I don't have a problem. Like, I get it. It's a concern, and it's Yo. It's Isaiah Yo. I just can't see it.
It's more the fact that Hudson Young's going off and Preston's doing well, and they're the guys you want to get to. So, and he can get to that point, so it's an easy trade-off. So I see where people are thinking.
You're very high on this point. Jack Williams starts at prop for the injured Hopgood. Unfortunately, Hopgood did his ACL and he is out for the rest of this year. Man, like I'm very excited about Jack Williams starting at prop, and so are you.
Yeah, I'm huge on Williams at prop, especially because I think he's gonna play 80 as well through the middle. He'll probably spell Dylan Walker, and Tuivasa will come on at prop. And then he'll probably go back to prop at the end of the game when Walker comes back on or something like that. I think there's so much potential in this dude, and he's just a base animal. He tackles everything. He can run over little men. He's definitely a watch this week, and if he does well, straight in.
Yeah, 100%. I'll be watching him with a keen eye. Cowboys versus the Storm. Laybuck comes in for the suspended Chester. Chester got 1 week suspension, pretty much. I think he comes back next week with the way that he's been playing, but Laybuck comes in. If he plays well against the Storm, then you've got a few problems. But anything you want to add with that one?
Nah, I think Chester comes back in myself.
And then Trent starts at the 13.
It's actually, he scored 60 odd last week off the bench, so definitely a watch. I won't be rushing to him, but if he keeps knocking up scores like that, I'd consider him.
I wouldn't, because I don't think Trent has massive upside. I think he has his 60s and maybe 70s if we're lucky, but that's about what you're going to get from him.
Yeah.
Which is the old Isaiah Yo that we all talked about, and then Isaiah Yo found some attack. I don't think Trent has that in him. I like him. I'm a fan of his, but as a Storm fan, but yeah, not as a SuperCoach player.
I have noticed that he's actually ripped in this off-season. He looks fitter than ever. I think he's in for a big year.
I do. I agree. Raiders, Sharks, Sasungi and Martin both continue to keep their starting spots.
And I love it. I'm a Noah Martin owner, and I just want to hold him and play him all year.
Yeah, there was a bit of whisper around Noah Martin last week. I think start keeping your eye on our page, on some of the other pages and creators and things like that, because there's a little bit of a worry about Noah Martin might not have his spot held for much longer.
He's made like 120, 130 tackles in the first 3 weeks, and he's only missed 4. I just can't see Ricky dropping him.
But
I honestly can't.
Ricky has been talking about it, but yeah. Anyways, Smithy starts at prop.
Nothing.
No,
draft maybe.
I'd be keen on Smithies if he had that spot locked down, but he doesn't. It's in for the Papali's suspension.
Yeah. Well, if he does well, Papali's been out twice now. he could take the spot. Maybe we'll see how Ricky
I
goes.
think he's got to do well for a long time
Yeah.
before he pushes Papali out. But yeah, if we were to hear that he had locked that spot down for long term, I'd be all over that, but not at this point in time. Wilton starts for the broken-nosed Nickera. Are you interested in that? Because that's a big spot to fill.
No, simply because broken nose. He could have played this week. I've heard a lot of people say you can play with a broken nose, but obviously it's a pain management thing. I'd imagine Nikora comes straight back next week, but
yeah, so do I. Titans vs Dragons. JC named to start at 7 this week, which he started last week, didn't he? I think I missed the start of that game. He looked really good in game 1. He just looked like he hasn't been out or hasn't missed a beat. Jeez, he's just so good, and he's got a weird knack. Like, this is not unicorn points. Like, he's just got a weird knack of getting points, and you don't even know where he got them from. Like, Nico Hines is the unicorn point goat, right? But JC just finds ways to get him, and you just like, what?
Well, JC's like the only Titan that's actually carried over some of that preseason form into the season, so definitely a watch, and we'll see what happens.
And Laurie starts at prop for Toby, who's in concussion protocols.
Yeah, nothing there.
No. Cool. I'm just going to... Anything else you want to add whilst I get the next part up?
No, there's not really. I'm very interested in Ford keeping that spot, especially with Barnett back and playing. I'll be really interested in him coming into this week.
A post that we put out, was it this morning? Our buy, holds and sells. There's a couple of points on here that I want to talk about. I think is a really important talking point before we move into some trade in and outs. In the post, we've had wild amounts of comments, which it's not a huge amount, but for us in the start of 3 weeks, I'm sitting there going, holy moly, this is fantastic. We've had it. There's a couple of things in here that some really good talking points. The first one is Payne Haas. Currently, this morning when I made this post, he was at 3.8% sold. In the top 10%, he's over 6% now sold in the top 10%. Jimmy, let's elaborate a little bit further for our listeners around what to do with the Payne Haas conundrum. At over 800k, he's been scoring well without playing super well. Talk to us about this.
Yeah, he's someone you just set and forget for the whole year, but with Mooney out this week, Hopgood, some people had him at front row. Couchman. There's quite a few out this week. Kolomatangi also on the bye. Like, I think people have got no front row forwards basically and having to make the trades. For me, I'm looking at it from a different perspective, and I assume you might be as well. I'm not sure, but I see it as an opportunity to chase some ranks. I think people will hold him, which is the smart play, but I see it as a chance to get someone in who's going to score well for the next 2-3 weeks that will make good money, and then just trade him straight back out to Haas, but get the points in the meantime, chase a few ranks. That's my play. It's super aggressive, I know, but we're hunting now, Trav, when we can't play safe anymore.
We can't, and that is exactly the reason why Payne Haas is now out of my team. But I'm not in that top 10%, so my numbers don't account for that. But 837.7k, has a break-even of 82, which is not hard for him to get. He's Payne Haas. He got a 68 against Penrith in a beatdown. He did play 78 minutes that game, though. He got 103 against Para, played 57, and then against the Storm on the weekend got an 84 on 72 minutes. So the minutes have been has been variable, but has been pretty good for Payne Haas. He has those big 80-minute games, and then he has a 40, 50-minute game. Like, you wear it, he's still got to score well. But I don't have 837k that I want to have sitting on the bench. And I have always said to myself, I don't like sitting that much or high amounts on the bench for more than 2 weeks or for 2 weeks or more. Right? So if it's 1 week, if I knew categorically that it came out and he was 1 week, I'd keep him 100%. And I'd just use that as my, like a VC loop or have that score flex out. But the word is 2 weeks, and most people are talking now, even sort of, I know the NRL physio came out and said, I asked for it, and he's saying 2 to 3. The word is from a couple of little whispers that I've got in and around the Broncos of some mates and stuff. They're saying 3 weeks. Now, that's gospel, but they're saying 3 weeks. So, I don't know. For me, I just don't want to play with that, and I don't want to sit that on my bench for 1 week and then not have, like, I've had that so many times where it's only a 1 week injury, so I put him on the bench, cost me massive, and then next week he's out again, and I'm like, well, I'm stuffed. So I'm just not going to play with that. I'm playing that ultra aggressive position. He will be traded out of my team.
Yeah, I think that's a smart play, Trav, in the end. I have to agree with you. Everything you just said there.
To be honest, it's a hard one because it's going to be hard to get back to him. Depending on who you trade to, but it's going to be hard to get back to him. And if it is 1 week, and I'll be kicking myself in the ass next week going, why did I do that? But I did that because of the news and my educated guess on what I've read around. And so be it. Like, that's just the way we have to play it sometimes. Clubs don't play for SuperCoach, they play for premierships, so they will do what they need to do.
It's very concerning that the Broncos haven't actually said anything either. Like, it's very hush-hush, which I don't like at all. Usually means it's something a little bit worse than what's been leaked. So
yeah, they've done it through the media, haven't they?
No one's really come out and said anything, have they?
No, it's not announced. So yeah, and for me, because I've got Mooney, because I've got Kula-Matangi, because I've got Couchman and I'm keeping these guys, and I've got Lasardi because I didn't bother. I have to. I'm going to do it. So yeah, that to me, that's one of those no-brainer moves for someone in my position. If I was in the top 10%, knowing that only 6% are trading him out, I'd be inclined to trade him out too.
Well, I've had this chat with someone who's sitting in the top 7,000, and I've basically said to him, the reason why I'm doing it is to be aggressive, but the reason you should do it as well is to be aggressive. Like, there is a serious chance that you could, after 3 weeks, be in that top 2,000 just from one trade, because everyone's holding. So, yeah, I see it as a good play. I understand there's a risk that he comes back and plays next week as well, but there's also a chance he comes back in 3 weeks and then plays busted for another 2 or 3 weeks after that as well. So you got to take risks in this game, and I think it's worth it.
Talk to me, Jimmy. Who is your top 2 trade-ins for Payne Haas?
Well, it sucks that Keon's on the bye because I would have said him, but for me, it's Jackson Ford. I think that's an absolute no-brainer. I know some people will be a bit hesitant. Oh, Barnett this, Barnett that. I still think he's got another 100k to make. He's going to be 750 odd k. I think it's a easy back to Haas in a couple of weeks if you have to. And Stefano, I think he's going under the radar, but not this week. I think there's a few creators out there starting to sing his name now.
Yeah, there is. This is, if you're going to get onto Stefano, this is the week, particularly when they play a weak pack of the Cowboys. Although, the Cowboys are up there. They just come off a pretty decent win, I suppose. Taumalolo looks like he's on a bit of a tear. But Stefano is, he's certainly high in my watch list. I'm not getting him, but Jackson Ford's the guy I went for myself. That -7 break even at 669k. Like, he's projected just based off his projected 84 of a 73k rank, and I'm trying to get into into the Rugby League Fantasy Pro to get some break evens, but which I can talk to you about in a minute. But I like the way he's playing, what he is doing, how he's going about it. I think he's a really good option. And even with Barnett being there, and even with Nikora back, or near Corey back, I don't think it doesn't worry me. And the other thing that I like about Jackson Ford is that they've been around for a long time. Like, Jackson Ford's been coming off the bench and still finds ways to get good scores.
Yeah, I think he's just a goer. He honestly is just a goer. He base you about 50 odd, so I think he's safe.
If he scores 80 this week, he goes into next week with a 37.6 break even.
And what's that projected cash rise?
71.2k. These are all approximates, but
yeah, so there's probably
close.
About 100k there.
So if he then goes to Cronulla, let's say he gets what's a low score, 60 against
for him
Cronulla?
At the moment, I'd say 65.
60. Well, let's just say 60. He goes another night. He goes another 18k. Walks into the game at Melbourne at 103.4 break even. So he's going to be 759k then for that week. So it's almost like you could
straight back in the house.
Yeah, it's either a 2 week play for a trade for that sort of thing, or best case scenario is he keeps pushing 80s and 90s, and like if he gets another 80 against Cronulla, he brings his break even to 88, makes another 35k, 776k going into the Storm. So, like, yeah.
There's every chance as well this week he comes out and scores another 100 against the Tigers at home. So, yeah, I just think he's a gun.
I think he's the number one option. I like the Stefano trade. There's no one else really that are in the front row forward. I've got Kulamatagi myself, so there's no one else.
T-May?
I've not been super sold on the way that he's played so far, and now that he's just lost Luai, Dewey looks like he's got an injury. I'm not sure. I think I'm just gonna keep watching.
But wouldn't that mean he steps up and takes more of a lead and tries to create around the ruck with offloads? I can see both sides. I definitely am more in your camp that he's an avoid at the minute, but I can see the other side where you could go, he's got to step up now. He's the guy.
Yeah, he does. I'm still probably caught in the past of the West Tigers. Of that, the no halves. There's just a few things I'm not super keen on. Talk to me. We said holds Sam Walker, Jacob Carraz, and this guy Trey Mooney. This is a massive talking point. Now, you made me put this on our post, Jimmy, so and I'm happy to oblige. I look after my team, but tell me, why is Mooney a hold? Because so many people are trading him out.
I thought you were going to say Sam Walker personally then, but Trey Mooney. I think if you're in a position where you can hold him, I think 1 week you do keep him. He's showing he's averaging like 60s, so there's still cash to be made. I understand that low score is going to be in his rolling average for a while now, which will hurt him. But I think if you can, you should hold. But saying that, I'm also selling because I have no front row forwards this week. So,
all right. So for me, Trey Mooney's buried very deep in my front row forward at number 4. I am holding him because he is only out for 1 week. However, I am on the verge of saying I won't do it myself. I've got other things I need to fix, and trading Trey Mooney's not going to fix them for me. So I'm not going to do that. But I am on the verge of saying Trey Mooney out. Like, he got a 94 against the Cowboys in week 1 on the back of 49 minutes, and everyone was sitting there going, where the hell's Trey Mooney? And then he gets that try. Right, yeah. and boosts his score up. He played Manly, got 64 in 50 minutes, and again, like, I just wasn't super sold on the way he played and what he was doing. He then goes to New Zealand, plays them, gets 35 off the back of 44, and now he's suspended. I actually feel like the game against the New Zealand Warriors was... I think he scores more than 35 points. I think he's going to get to around that sort of 45-50 average. But I think what we saw again with him against New Zealand is about what Mooney's going to give us because of the team that he's got around us. He's around him, and so I'm on the trade him out point.
Yeah, you also got to take into account that he lost 10 points for that sin bin as well, and lost 10 minutes, which playing 50 minutes, you need those extra 10 minutes to get your stats up. I think he would have probably finished around 50, 55, so yeah, I see your point. I probably lean more to trade out, but if you can hold him, I would definitely hold too. I don't think he's worth trading.
No, I'm certainly on the same path there. I need you to tell me about one guy that we've put in our buys, and then we're going to move on to the next segment. Milky J. Tell me all about him.
I was singing his praise.
Hype him up, man. Hype him up.
I was singing his praises all pre-season, and I thought, oh, he's a pod, I'm going to get him in, and this and that, and I didn't do it. And guess what he did? He bit me on the ass, and he's just scored all these tries in the first 3 weeks, and he's made me look a fool, and now I'm just not going to buy him at 700k. I just don't think he can continue this try-scoring streak, but Kiraz to Jenkins is looking very, very juicy as well. That's a very strong possibility. I know you can't do it because you only traded Kiraz in last week, but...
Well, I can. I'm happy to trade him in. Like, if you got to trade out a guy because you got to play the fool, then I'll do that. But the guy's quietly becoming one of the best wingers in the comp, right? In the best team in the comp at the moment. Let's be fair. Oh man, they're doing everything through him as well. Yeah. Like and these are not just just touchdowns, right? They're not just like he just gets it and moseys on in. Like he's showing some seriously good skill and timing and everything to try and get these down. Like he's just been fantastic. That to me just shows that that's not luck. That's that this guy can play. So I would happily get him in. Happily. I just don't know. I'm just waiting to see what I get. I'm trying to find some late mail on Kiraz and whether the guy's injured or whatever. Because I actually didn't watch that Bulldogs game on the weekend. But everyone's saying he just looks busted. But did he just have a bad game or is he actually busted?
He came out of the first tackle holding his shoulder pretty... like this hurts. And then he was turning his shoulder to the opposite one to go into the line. Like, it looked like something was affecting him. But all the mail is he's fine. There's no injuries there. We haven't been told anything. So that's all we can go off. And him playing against Dom Young this weekend, I would be a fool to not own him or sell him now.
Against that Knights team, like, holy moly. The guy...
He could score 4 tries with one arm against the Knights.
He's done it for years.
Yeah.
The dude's just a freak. I really like him. He's a base monster, and he has major attack. He's one of my favourite players, but I've got him. I've traded him in. I've traded him out, and then I've traded him back, and then I've traded him out, and then I've traded him back, and we can talk to one of our best mates about this, is how many times I've sent him pictures of what I've traded him out, and right now he's still in my team. Let's move on. Can I just circle back quickly to Jenkins?
I really want to see a week where he doesn't score a try. I want to see if that's a 30 or that's a 60. Because if it's 60s without the tries, that's impressive, and I'd really be rushing to get him then. But he keeps scoring, so let's move on.
Freak. Trade it out. Let's do the top 10 trade outs. Stop me where I kind of... with something we haven't spoken about or whatever, but number one trade out... this blows my mind. Of all coaches, 7% of people have traded Trey Mooney after we just said hold and sell. We can see it. I'm just so surprised it's number one.
Yeah, I think that's the predicament. No front row forwards this week, and I think he's an easy option to get rid of.
So 3,000 are going to Jackson Ford. I like that. If you're doing that, I can see it. But I mean, it's costing you a couple $100,000, but I see it. And Trey Mooney down to Joe Chan, which is not that much of a down trade.
No, there's another one that I'd be interested to go down to if I was going down, which would be Paseka. That frees up money, which I'd be very interested to do that. I think Chan, he's going to make more money, but I think Paseka's your next guy that's going to make all this money now that Ryan Couchman and Lasardi are out. So
it's 160k. Well, it's just under 160k.
Yeah, see, that's a lot of money. You can do a lot with that.
Oh, you can do heaps with that, especially right now. Next, Jermaine Hopgood. That is an absolute trade out. He's out for the year. Next, we've spoken about Payne Haas at 5.2%. Final word on that. Trade out, yes, no?
I'll be trading.
Me too. Next on the list is Toby Couchman at 5.1%. Yes, no?
Yeah, I don't have him, but I can see why people are trading him.
I like that trade too. Concussion this week just hasn't really looked like he looks pretty good. Like he's been in and around. He's getting the ball. He's tackling strong. He's doing what he's just not resulting in some SuperCoach points for us. Next one, Ryan Couchman, 5%.
I never bought him, and I'm glad. But to say he got 4 weeks was a bit harsh, I think. But yeah, that was one that went past, and I didn't have to worry too hard about, thankfully. But I think he'll be a good downgrade in a couple of weeks. I think he's going to be a great downgrade for some of these Martins and stuff.
So, I am a Ryan Couchman owner, and I won't be trading him out even for 4 weeks. He's just made 99k, so he's 335 now. I started with Ryan Couchman, didn't have to trade him in or out. He's still got a break even of minus 21, and in 4 weeks' time, he's coming back into the team. So I have absolutely no problems with holding Ryan Couchman sitting there at my 2RF.
Do you have Chan?
No.
Do you have Martin?
Yes.
Yeah. I would look at going up to Chan. Especially because you got Lasardi just sitting there as well.
Yeah, but it's going to cost 110k.
We just spoke about Mooney down.
Well, yeah, Mooney down could be down to Mooney to Chan, but I'm keeping Ryan Couchman just
because now you got two blokes just sitting there for a month plus.
I wouldn't play him anyways. I haven't been bloody playing him, so yeah, I don't have that too. I don't have that problem. I'm not too fussed about that. To be fair, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. The next on my list, SuperCoach has just decided to die. Now, next on the list is Cody Walker. We are both Cody Walker owners, Jimmy. Unfortunately, after that first game, we were all singing praises and he's a season-long keeper, and then we just pumped out 2 spot-on 34s.
I think he lies somewhere in the middle. I think he's not a 30 guy. I don't see that. But I don't think he's a 90 guy either. I think he's a 50, 60 guy. Break even a 70. He's already done making money. I think you got to sell him.
He's already done making 35.4k. Awesome job. Thanks, Cody Walker. As you walk into the buy. 4.4% sold. I have sold him. Goodbye. See you later. Reed Marnie, 3.7%, is number 7 on the list.
Yeah, I want him gone, but I'm doing other trades. Otherwise, he'd be gone.
I get it. I really do. I get it. But I'm holding him, and I don't want him gone. Like, I understand why people are doing it, but I don't want him gone. I have no problems with him. He's got a break-even of 57. I doubt he gets to 57 against the Storm this weekend, so he probably drops a little bit more money. But Reed Marnie he's got it in him to do more than what he has done so far.
It's just the role that's changed with Lukey coming on now for 20-odd minutes. I'm really not liking that. That's really thrown me off.
Yeah, I get it. There's nothing for me to trade to, so I'm either going down to enough. You're going from him to
Cheese.
in the hope that Cheese comes back soon and goes from there. Like, I don't know. I'm just happy just to sit there and hold him. Eventually he comes through. I can use him where I need to. If he loses 100k, he loses 100k for me. Like, I'm making money everywhere at this point in time. Next on the list is Sam Walker. Now, you mentioned that he's a hold. Talk to me.
Sammy Walker has been diabolical this year to start it. He has been absolutely not in it. But, saying that, he hasn't had a try assist or a try yet. And neither has Angus. They've had very little involvement. I just think they got Manly this week at 4 Pines. I think that's a good matchup. They got Sharks next week. Then they got the Knights. Then they got the Dragons. And then they got Broncos Titans. Like, there's 4 or 5 fixtures there you'd happily want him for. But that attack just isn't clicking. And is it DCE? Is it the Roosters in general? I don't know. And that's probably why he's a hold. I want to see how he goes this week. But I wouldn't be buying him. I'd be saying that much.
I was a Sam Walker owner, and I'm a very happy traded him out of my team owner now that he's just lost 68k, because I actually thought by his third game he'd make 68k with what I had thought of. So I'm very happy I've got it with a break even of 117. Now he does play Manly, I get it. He gets a couple of attacking stats on top of that 50, and he's pretty close to 117. I've got him down as a hold I agreed with you with what you've got. I think if you kept him last week against the Panthers, you kind of just got to continue to keep him. I don't think he can be this crap for much longer. That's
what I'm thinking, and Roosters are notorious for starting slow, so it has to kick in, and these are the fixtures to do it. If he doesn't do it then he's definitely a sell, but he has to do it.
3.6% are still trading out Lasardi. If you got the luxury to be able to trade him out, do it. He's just sitting at 2RF6 for me. And last on the list at 3.1% is Thomas Flegler.
Yeah, I think people are worried this week with the no front rowers, and he's on the bench, so yeah, he's not a buy. I don't think he's a sell, maybe. Depends how far you're going up.
Yeah, good call. Yeah. So traded ins, all coaches. Number 1, 16.4%, Joe Chan. You've just missed out on 134.2k, but you are buying him at 444k, or 444.1k with a break even of minus 37. Is it still worth getting Joe Chan off the back of a big game last week?
Out of dumb luck, I got him last week because I was going Lasardi and then he got injured. And then I just went, all right, I'll get Chan. And he scored 128. And it was amazing. But he's still a buy. He's 100% still a buy. He's running at the Cowboys this week, who they should tear apart, let's be honest. And then he's running at Panthers. That's a tougher fixture. Warriors. I still think he can score 60. So I think he's going to make another 100, 150k quite easily. I think he's a buy for sure.
Yep, don't hate anyone buying Joe Chan. With all the injuries and all the things that are happening at the Storm as well, I think he's locked that 2RF spot, the edge spot for the Storm for the rest of this year. To be honest, the only thing stopping him will be injury. Next on the list is Jackson Ford. We've spoken about him. I think that's a really easy trade for Haas. I like it. It won't be long before he's basically at the same price or very close to within a bit of cheap change.
Yeah, I agree. Touching distance.
Thomas Jenkins, 4.7%. We just spoke about before. I think it's a really good. I think it's a good buy. I think your point is right though. Like, it'd be great to see what he can do without the attack.
Yeah, I agree. I think if I didn't have so many fires to put out this week, I would get him. But, yeah, I think it's a buy.
3.8% are trading in Howe from the Gold Coast Titans.
Very surprised.
FRF made 80.1k.
Yeah, very surprising. I started with him. He was just a throwaway over Lasardi. I think if you've got him, ride it. Patson's sitting there waiting, but I wouldn't be buying him, that's for sure.
315. He's still in the cheapy. He's still in the cheapy range. He's a little bit higher than the way that I sort of judge a cheapie, but he's at the bottom end of that, or at the top end of that. 57 off 80, 55 off 80, 63 off 80. He's scoring quite well and is playing 80 minutes. I get what you're saying. I don't mind him coming in. I don't mind that buy.
It's more, I think last week, and I think the previous weeks, he's missing a lot of tackles. And I know all missed tackles aren't the same. There's pressure and things like that. But, yeah, I think last week he had something like 9 missed tackles. So Patson's sitting there waiting. They keep leaking points. I could see that being a change they make soon.
3.7%, number 5 is Stefano.
Yeah, I'll be buying him this week. I really want him.
Locking him in. There you go. Yep. 3.5% are bringing in Tanner Boyd. Has a break-even of 17. He's 698.3k. Off the back of, what is it? 131, 91, 116. Is he like the hottest scoring SuperCoach player at the moment?
Yeah, he's on fire. And I wouldn't be buying him unless it's through the flex. And you can go a Kinney up to him, say. That's probably the only way. I'm not getting rid of Cleary. I think that's a no-brainer. I think Cleary's points will level out across the season. Easily chase him down. Metcalf back this week. It'll be interesting to see how much ball he gets. I think he's a buy in flex. I'm not doing it because I've got 3 fullbacks and I like that play. That's how I always run my flex.
I think that's a rad call. I think Tanner Boyd's going to keep kicking even with Metcalf back. I like Metcalf at the 6 next to Tanner Boyd. Oh man, I wish I had Tanner Boyd. I really do. I was this close to doing it at the start of the year with all the injuries, and I didn't do it because I wanted Sam Walker. God, it's one of those gut feels. It stuffed me. Reece Walsh, 2.8%, number 7th on the rank.
I can see why people are starting to get him. I think the draw is starting to open up. I really want to see him with Reynolds back one more week before I chop a Teddy down to him or something like that.
Break even of 83.
It's gettable.
It is gettable. Plays the Dolphins. Dolphins are on the improve.
And there's Cowboys, Titans, isn't it?
But then he's got the Titans, the Cowboys, the Tigers. I think this week is a watch. I'm not going to buy. Like, he could go and get 150. Awesome. I'll clap him and say, yep, no worries. Like, I see it. You're Reece Walsh. You're a freak. But I can also see a 60 or 70 next to Reynolds in this game because I just think the Dolphins will turn up big time. Yeah, I think this is a watch. To me, this is a nice, good watch. I don't even at 80, even with his 83 break even, if he gets 120, he's not going to make a crap load that he becomes out of reach again. So I just think he's a good watch. See what happens with Reynolds because we know that the relationship between those two when they play, Walsh is not near as good as when he's not. So
no.
Next on the list, 2.4%, Nathan Cleary.
I think that'd be a lot of Sammy Walker owners. I imagine. I think he should have bought him a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, just get him when you can.
I don't care when you buy Nathan Cleary. He's always a good buy. He's just he just milks points for nothing. Like it's fantastic.
Yep.
He's 808k. It's hard to get Nathan Cleary too much cheaper than that. So I think this is a great one against Parrot too. Plus, then their matchups that they've gone through, their hard games. Like I suppose they've got Melbourne and the Bulldogs, but it's Penrith.
We've seen what he can do.
He's matchup proof.
Yeah.
Next on the list is Jackson Purdue, 1.9%.
I am just short of getting him in at 5.8 over Cody Walker, which is a little bit stinging me, but he's got Storm and then he's got Broncos.
I see the
appeal.
He also scores. Doesn't matter where. It doesn't matter against who.
Yeah, I see the appeal definitely. I wouldn't be rushing to buy him, but that's my opinion.
Don't. We're here to put the proper pin in. Don't play the on the fence card, Jimmy. People listen for this. You're the rain man. Tom Trebojevic is 1.8%, rounds out the top 10.
I love him. I started the season with him, captain him first week for his 100. I'll probably be looking to vice captain and captain him for the next couple of weeks. I think he's a really good buy, and I think he's under 10% owned, which I find really, really surprising. So I think next week or two that'll jump up again to around 15-20%. So I'd get in early.
I don't find it surprising. I just don't. As much as I love Tommy Turbo, I don't find his ownership surprising. Like he's now above 10%. He's 9% before he went into this round. He's now been bought at 2%. So at this point in time, I'd say that goes up another 1 or 2% by tomorrow's game. But yeah,
if you kept Keeney, I would be going Keeney to Turbo all day, every day.
Keeney hasn't really looked like doing much yet. He's still put out 67.
Don't care. He's gone. Don't like him. Nah. He broke my heart.
That's our trade-ins and outs for the top, for the top 10 of each side for the entire competition. Talk to us about some good captain options this week, Jimmy. The captain first, actually.
Vice captains. So I think I'm just getting up our thing we put out. Cleary versus Para, 11.5%. I think that's a no-brainer to bring in as a VC this week. Boyd against Tigers, 3%. And then the pod players Tedesco versus Manly, which I'm a Tedesco owner, and I'll probably be VCing him against Manly. I think that's a great call.
So at the moment, Nathan Cleary VC 11.2% is the highest. You got Sewer at 10%. I'm not sure. That's a Saturday night. I just wouldn't be doing that. No. You've got Reece Walsh at 8.3%. You've got Herbie at 6.1% for the Friday games. And there's still 6% on Payne Haas. They haven't changed it. My favourite option out of all of them is the pod plate in Teddy. And I'm a Teddy owner and I'm going to do it. He just has to. Like, I bought him. I've wanted to trade him out for 2 weeks. I was
going to say, when are you going to tell the listeners that you've wanted to get rid of him? You wanted to rage trade him on Sunday if you could.
And you made a post. And it's got steam coming out of my ears. And I'm so disappointed I've got him over the last 2 weeks. He's just looked like absolute dog's breakfast, and still bloody scored 60 odd. I'm going to VC him this week, and if he scores a really crap score this week, I can tell you now, I will rage trade that motherfucker. Sorry, I don't swear, but I will rage trade that guy out of my team quicker than I can say rage.
To Walsh.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just gonna let the love for Teddy hold me for one more week. I do love the VC on Cleary play as well. Into the captain play of my favourite option this week is Sewer.
Yeah, I think 24% will be unders come the weekend. I think it'll be clear. I think it'll be 35% plus C option. It's a no-brainer, but I also don't mind captaining Cleary against Para too. But that's usually a derby, and they get up for it. Para, they've done well the last couple of years against Penrith, so it might be the safer play just to go Cleary into Sewer, but I'm going Tedesco. I'm chasing points now.
Yeah. So I'm doing the same. I'm Tedesco into Cleary. I think Sewer is my favourite number one option, but I also think Sewer is very high upside, and that has a 70-80. And I don't want to have that as a captain, not when I'm 73k ranked. So I'm going Sewer into Cleary, and I'll just take Cleary's upside. Hopefully...
Teddy.
Oh, sorry, I'm going Teddy into Cleary. Yes, my bad. Thank you for correcting that, man. Teddy into Cleary, and hopefully Cleary pushes out a 120, 130. But at worst, he gets 100 against Para. I just can see him just dominating that game.
Yeah, I'm worried about straight captaining Sewer. I think he's a very good VC option. I don't know if I trust him yet to full captain him. So we'll see this week anyway.
I have heard lots of people talk about Herbie as a good captain option.
I've seen a few people put that in the comments now, and I never even thought about it. And I'm a Herbie owner, so who's he? Which side is he? He's against Stags though. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't like it because of the Stags play. I mean, he hasn't really done much for a 75, a 78, and an 85.
No tries.
No, like limited attack. Like it's just. But he's been able to do that. If he can push out against a leaky Broncos defense and see what happens there, especially with no Haas to shore up the middle, I think he's a good play, but I'm not going to play that card.
Nah. Not with Teddy and Cleary just sitting there. It's a no-brainer.
That's right. So you are locking your captain in as VC Teddy C Cleary. So am I. I'm on the same boat. That's where I'm at. Sit V starts. Actually, no. Let's do our own trade-ins first before we do the Sit V starts.
Yes, trade-ins. Love those. Can we get yours first, please? I just want to hear your ideas and see what you've come up with.
So the man at 73k. I'll keep reminding everybody. I've gone Payne Haas to Jackson Ford. I've gone Cody Walker to Purdue.
Are you not going to boost this week?
I have not done the boost yet.
And if you were to boost, would that likely be Mooney?
Down to Chan. No, if I'm to boost, it'll be Carraz to Jenkins.
Yeah, okay. Yep. I like that. But, yeah. I'm likely to go Payne Haas to Ford. I think that's a no-brainer. I'm going Cody Walker to Matt Burton.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like it.
Out of nowhere. It's between him or Blaze. I know Blaze has a softer matchup this week, but it goes a little bit tougher. I know Bulldogs have a couple of good games coming up. So I'm interested in that. And I just want to get rid of Cody Walker. He's doing my head in. And I'll be going Trey Mooney to Stefano. I'm going to bring in Ford and Stefano this week.
Big moves, and I like it. I'm a very big fan of those moves. I have played around with boosting. At one point, I had Keeney to Turbo. I've had Munster instead of Purdue. I've got a lot of options. I can categorically tell you now it's probably not going to be what I stay with, what I just said there. But I know that Haas to Ford is locked in. That will happen. And then it's just what I do with the other. And then Cody Walker, I'm not 100% sold on selling him, to be honest. I know that he sucks, and he has, but I'm almost happy to play Pezzett this week, even though he plays Penrith, and just see if I can get him to flex out at a 40 or a 50, and if that's the case, then I'm okay with that. With Cody Walker coming back next week, and see what I could do with some other cash. That's kind of where these are some of my options at the moment.
Yeah, I've been leaning in that camp too of just running Pezzett and copping it, but there's also I've got the money there. I've had a terrible start to the year. I think I just sort that position out and be done with it until Origin.
Yeah, it's a bit cool. I like it.
Yeah.
One of my favourite trades that I've done, that I've played with, is Haas to Ford, Carraz to Jenkins, Keeney to Turbo.
Yeah, I like that. I can instead of going Cody to Burton, I can do Yo to Hudson Young with $200 left, which is very appealing.
Mate, you know my feelings around no cash left in the bank is an omen. Yep. Sit V starts.
Howe reserve, Martin reserve, Chan starts obviously this week for Fafita. Atkinson I'll play against the Titans. I'm actually really okay with playing him this week. And I'll be reserving Turbo, who sits on the bench now, which is unbelievable. I've got to play Leo against Labour and the Cowboys, so I'm okay with that. And I've got to play 2 against the Titans, which I'm okay with again. So the cheapies hopefully can bang out a 50. I'll be happy with that this week.
Nice. I'm currently playing Atkinson against the Titans. I like that call. I've got 2 against the Titans. I'm playing Fayamani against the Dragons, and I'm playing Keeney at this point in time. That's kind of where I'm sitting at. I'm not playing Leo or Pezzett.
Yep. Or Reed. I'm not playing
Marnie.
Reed.
Yeah, yep. Marnie sitting up there with the R was very quickly taken off him.
Yep. Macassini too? Did you?
Macassini's on the field for me this week.
Okay. Against left edge, Pompey and DWZ could be an option.
Yeah. Oh, he is. He's on my field. Yeah. So he is my option.
Yeah, but for me, sorry.
I like that matchup, 65 Macassini in with the New Zealand matchup. I'm pretty keen with that, so I'm happy to play him. That's us done and dusted, my friend. We are good. Again, thank you to Understanding Supports for jumping on board with our with the sponsorship. Get onto the Rugby League Fantasy Pro. Chuck the code SC Spectrum 26 at the end there, and you'll get 20% off the entire site. Get onto their betting platform. I have just done that myself, and it is killer. It has worked really well, especially now at this time of the year. And otherwise, goodbye.
Yeah, I just want to say like, subscribe, all that good stuff. It all helps the page. And if you ever just want to chat footy, don't be afraid to DM us on Instagram. Me, Trav, Sam, we love chatting footy all times of the day. So just message us. We're always happy to chat. Look at your team.
I don't personally check the Instagram messages. I'm not an Instagram person, but I am all over Facebook Messenger, which is where everyone gets me. But James and Sam, they'll do it, and if they've got a problem, they'll come and message me anyways. But yeah, Jimmy, that's exactly right. They're all free ways to support us. Like, subscribe, follow, comment, engage. Yep. That's the biggest part. Engage. That just helps us get our content out there. That helps us be seen a little bit more. And if we can get our content out and be seen a bit more, it means the content can be better and we can produce it better. So get around that. But otherwise, man, that's it. Good luck for round 4, and I will see you all on the flip side.
Enjoy, guys.